There's a lot of give in that Armco, isn't
It
there?
did move, didn't it? Quite a lot. It wasn't very sturdy, I'd say.
Well, it's hard enough to ricochet the camera as well, isn't it? But
I mean, silly little knocks like that can damage the car quite a lot.
Did you touch on it?
Yeah, a little bit.
What they will need to do is take a close look at that gearbox.
It's the diff in the gearbox I would be concerned about, and that would be the immediate thing, but I think they'll get away with it.
Yeah, it's just the angle that it went in at. That would be the worry for me. Past Perez, Martin, and taking third place. Was Raikkonen in a position to get past here?
It was a long way back. It was Raikkonen's fault. He'd just been told on the radio, apparently, all or nothing on this lap. And nothing it was in terms of the podium. But, as you pointed out, David, important that he crept over the line. That's 100% Kimi Raikkonen's fault.
Well, here's the thing. They're looking at Kimi Raikkonen and Valtteri Bottas and that crash. Could he yet find himself having fifth place taken away from him for that move? Let's hear Bottas.
What the f did he do?
He is not amused in any way, shape or form. And then we can see now, so everything okay? Oh,
very violent turning to turn 19. He was super aggressive to try and get the front end in there, and the rear just couldn't keep up. He realised that he was going offline, just slammed the brakes on, locked up.
And it's what, just too much power?
It was that change of direction. No, it was just that change that you just really aggressively turned in and just obviously entered a bit too quick as well. You get slightly offline, the track's dusty, and there's no point of return. So
that's a heavy old impact and a lot of damage for a slow-speed corner around here, isn't it? I mean, they'll be up against it to get that car ready for FP2
at the moment, and Valtteri is out. Valtteri Bottas, it's going to be the same thing, I guess. He's going to touch a bit of water, he runs a bit wide. It's the same spin that Lewis had, but it sort of materialised in a different way, and boom.
Oh.
So yeah, just catching, look, you can see the slightly damper track there, just enough to loosen off the heavily loaded left rear tyre, straight to the scene of the accident.
And spinning around, no chance to stop, and that is Valtteri Bottas's 22 race finishing and scoring streak gone. And this is what happened.
So he's gone wide in one and straight to the scene of the accident on the outside of two. Stayed on the throttle, engine still revving there. So he's got a little bit wide and just wouldn't give up on it. Just a little touch on the grass. And with the front and rear in like that, that's a huge amount of damage.
Here we go.
And talking to his engineers.
Turns in, and just as he picked up the power, the rear end stepped out of line, caught him off guard there. So that's a rare end. I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit the wall there, if I'm honest. We see people run wide, understeer out wide. I've never seen anyone hit that wall.
The trouble is, so as he's come round here, he's tried to catch it, Karun, and that's just straightened the car up. And at that point, he's then not able to avoid anything other than a head-on collision into the barriers.
Yeah, he's a little bit wide, isn't he? He's a little bit wide. I wonder if he was slightly offline on the dustier part of the track. And I think that might have just caused him to have that moment of oversteer when he picked the throttle up.
Karun, he's gonna be a bit sore after this as well.
Yeah, I'm watching it there. He's a little bit wider than Lewis was. I think Valtteri does tend to turn in a little bit later than some other people. That's perhaps put the right side wheels slightly offline.
Some huffing and puffing.
But what will they do? They disqualify Verstappen's time if he didn't lift. Oh dear. Did he catch the curve there? He did, didn't he?
And then that piece of barrier sticks out, doesn't it? The polystyrene bit that eventually hits sticks out. There we go. In fact, it's the Tech Pro, isn't it? He's caught the end of the Tech Pro.
And that would be why, Martin, he's breathing very heavily there, because that's a very sudden stop.
Yeah.
Very sudden stop. Even if they delete Verstappen's final time, by the way, he'd still be on pole, because no one else got into the 1:14s. But that's great. Valtteri Bottas getting out of the car.